Two great powers are locked in a battle that could reshape the entire global economy, and it's all happening because of components smaller than your fingernail. Fingernail, that was thumb, but you get the point. Welcome to the US China chip war, where semiconductors have become the new oil, and both sides are playing a dangerous game of chess with the world's technology supply chain. Let me explain. Here's what most people don't realize about this conflict. China and America each hold a crucial China and America each hold a crucial piece of the semiconductor supply chain, of the semiconductor supply chain, the semiconductor puzzle. They don't both need the other. Neither can survive without the other. It's Harry Potter, Voldemort style, right? But who's Harry Potter and who's the guy without the nose, right? China controls something absolutely essential that barely anyone talks about. Rare earth elements. More people are talking about it now. They aren't just any minerals. They're the magical ingredients, the digital or electronic salt base, salt, I guess, that makes every single chip possible. Without China's refined rare earths, American chip designs are basically useless blueprints. They can design chips, but it's like an architect with no access to engineers or builders. They can't make a building appear from just a blueprint. You need people physically to actually go and make it. But here's where it gets interesting. China has that node, the rare earth elements node of the supply chain for semiconductors, right? America's got two nodes though. America holds the other half of the power through something called EDA tools. I think it's electronic design and automation tools, right? The software that actually designs these chips. American companies do the designing. The US controls 85% of this market, kind of like the percentage of rare earth refineries that China controls. Meaning Chinese companies literally can't create advanced semiconductors without American permission. Yet, American companies do it, so America could just shut that off whenever they want. China's working on it, but we'll get to that. Then so we talked about China, they have the rare earths. We have America with their semiconductor chip designs. Then we have Taiwan, caught right in the middle of the two. TSMC is a company you're going to hear more and more about on this channel or anywhere else. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation, the Taiwanese company that makes the world's most advanced chips and has become America's secret weapon. The US can force TSMC to cut off China from the cutting-edge processes needed for things like artificial intelligence and military application and generally anything, digital, anything electronic in the whole country of China. So imagine this standoff, right? China could theoretically choke off America's rare earth supply, crippling chip production in America and worldwide. But America can then starve China of both the design tools and the finished products they desperately need for their tech ambitions, for their, whole country's semiconductor needs. Both sides are now racing to break free from this mutual dependence, right? China's pouring billions into domestic chip production under their Made in China 2025 plan. It's not going completely to plan because it's 2025 and not everything is made in China. While America's CHIPS Act, introduced by Joe Biden, I was going to say Joe Rogan, is bringing semiconductor manufacturing home, right? Come, domestic, right? But here's the $1 trillion question. Not $1 million, not $1 billion, because this is, these are the big chips now. Pun intended, because, we're talking about semiconductors, which are computer chips. Anyway, here's the $1 trillion question. In a world where your smartphone, your car, and soon your entire life, anything electronic, just this mug, bruv, is the only thing not affected. And even this thing is probably damn certainly made in China. Your entire life, basically, runs on semiconductors. And can either side really afford to lock out the other? Because they both rely on semiconductors and both have nodes in that semiconductor supply chain that they can disrupt or they can completely remove for the other side. In many ways, it would be the economic nuclear option, right? It would be mutually assured economic destruction, MAED. Not as catchy as MAD, but anyway, it would break the global economy completely if semiconductor supplies were crippled or even disrupted. It would definitely harm the global economy. So China and the US race towards independence from each other. So far, how's it going? China looks to be lagging behind in the cutting edge, right at the front, because America invented this stuff, right? But they are more able to do everything from start to finish, refining to designing to building, actually fabricating the chips and using, right? Start to finish, China's doing things more, but not at the cutting edge. America isn't sitting idle though. They invested $100 billion and have intentions to invest 60 billion more just in TSMC alone. TSMC, the Taiwan chip builders. And they have TSMC building chip factories in America. 3 of them right now in Phoenix, Arizona. Right, that's the big fat American investment from the CHIPS Act that's taking place to onshore. In case Taiwan falls into a blockade or is reunified with the mainland, then America loses access to those fabrication plants. So they're bringing it home. Both sides, both great powers, are trying to onshore, meaning bring back to their domestic control the whole chip supply chain. The race is on, but quietly. So most don't know about it. But if things get heated and guns start getting pointed at each other, then for sure you'll hear about it on the news, and it will pop off and it will look chaotic, but you'll know in advance of the common man and woman, because you'll have heard it here first, where we cover it, and where we will continue to cover it day in, day out, hopefully for the next however long it remains relevant. And I think that's basically my whole life, unless World War III ends in a way that electronics are just deemed useless and we live in Mad Max or whatever, and World War IV is literally fought with sticks and stones. Then I won't be covering it, because there won't be TikTok, and I think I've gone too far here. Anyway, for the unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin, I'm Mahfouz, and I'll see you on the next one. But let me just recap actually one more time, because I feel like it might not have been clear. From start to finish, to build computer chips, you need a variety of things. You need rare earth elements, then you need to design the chips, then you need to fabricate the chips, and then you need to implement the chips, right, wherever you're going to use them. Implementation, let's say everyone can do it. In terms of rare earth elements, China controls that. In terms of designing the chips, majority America controls that. And in terms of fabricating the chips, Taiwan, stuck in the middle of both those powers, control that. So China and America, they want to be able to have the rare earths to build it, have the designs to make it, have the fabricators to build it. They're both trying really hard to do it. TSMC is building fabricators. Fabricators are chip building factories, by the way. TSMC is building fabricators in America, so that America doesn't have to rely on Taiwan. And China is building its own fabricators using the Chinese state-backed SMIC, the Shanghai Manufacturing I don't know what SMIC stands for. Sorry. You caught me. Taiwan's TSMC's Chinese homeland equivalent is SMIC, and they're building fabricators as well. They're just not as advanced as TSMC yet. But end to end, that gives China control of the whole process. They just need to optimize it so they're making the best chips. They're not there yet. So this is where the situation is. I hope you enjoyed that narrative. It's a very good summary, I think. I read a book this fat called Chip War, right? If you're interested in an in-depth, I think I exaggerated. If you're interested in an in-depth account of semiconductors and computer chips, this is the book for you. But it is I'm not gonna lie, it does become a bit of a slog. It was very in-depth, like too in-depth for the common man. But I read it. I'm not getting commissioned to sell this. There's no yellow box where it says click on the basket in TikTok and you can buy it. No, it's none of that, right? But if you are interested more, this is the book for you. It's very up to date, very strong, and actually, the cover. It looks like it's shiny. It looks like this is a computer chip. Sorry. So yeah, I kind of know what I'm talking about. So stay up to date with my videos to know what I'm talking about, so that you know what you're talking about with your friends and whatnot. See you on the next one.